Hello, fellow Geminis. So this is very exciting. This lunar cycle, basically, we have Mercury going direct the first day of this lunar cycle, which is a really interesting phenomenon. Mercury goes to will be shadow until will be in its shadow period until May 4th. So we are still looking at a time where things aren't quite moving as quickly forward. Communication isn't quite as clear as we'd like. Ideas aren't quite as linear and logical and able to be applied and communicated as easily as we would like. But this is a time of being able to move forward tremendously powerfully if we take our time, if we're breathing, if we're taking care of the past as well as focused on the present and the future. So we have a good way to look at this cycle is remembering our momentum from March 6th to March 22nd. What were we thinking about then? What were we focused on? What did we wish to accomplish? What were we talking about? What were we listening to? How are we growing? How are we learning? If we focus on that, then we can we can keep that as our goal for how to move forward, and we can also focus on the retrograde period from March 22nd to April 15th and be able to combine the two of, okay, this is what I wanted to do, this is what ended up happening, this is where we go from here. This is what I was talking about. This is what I ended up having to learn. This is how we go from here. This is a wonderful time the shadow period is a wonderful time to integrate. And especially for us Geminis, being that Mercury is our ruling planet, along with Virgo, having Mercury as the ruling planet, this is a wonderful time to take from the past, gel it all together, and move forward with understanding. So after having so much Mercury and Aries energy, this is a really sweet energy for us. It's a sextile energy. We're an air sign. It's a fire sign. They just go together just like earth and water do. It takes some effort. And so there is a sense of, okay, I need to apply myself. I need to really focus. Like, what do I want to grow? What do I want to learn? What do I want to study? How do I want to think? It takes conscious effort. Not a lot. It's not like, oh my god, but it's like, okay, I need to sit down and do this. Whereas a trine, things just flow naturally. It's like, oh, I didn't even have to really try. Cool. Or a conjunction, things, the energy is so intense and so in your face. It's like I can't help but focus on this. A sextile is, yeah, it's there if you want it, and that's the key. Is we have to apply ourselves. So with this Mercury and Aries energy, which is going to be with us until pretty much except the last 2 days of this lunar cycle until May 13th, when Mercury goes into Taurus, this is a time of, especially until May 4th, going, okay, who was I in the recent past, in the far past, since I was a child, because Aries energy is about the beginning of life. Where do I go from, where am I right now? And then after May 4th, and before May 13th, when Mercury goes in Taurus, then it's like, okay, where are we going from here? And it's good to not focus too much on the future. It's good to stay present and to stay, because ultimately the future doesn't exist. It's going to come in the form of in the form of a present now. But that all being said, it's worthwhile to think about, okay, to plan for future nows and to go, okay, this is what I wish to accomplish, this is how I wish to grow. So for the vast majority of this lunar cycle, from basically April 15th until May 4th, we are looking at okay, I'm moving forward, but I'm going like this. And then when May 4th comes around, it's like, okay, we're going. May 13th is going to be a stabilization, Mercury going to Taurus, so we're going to experience at the tail end of this lunar cycle. And what this means is, with Mercury going to Taurus, it will become much more practical. And it's an energy that's semi-sextile, so it's right before Gemini Taurus energy is. And in a lot of ways, it vibes well with it, but it's still not quite as, exciting for us. It's not quite as like, oh, fire energy, Mercury and Aries. Yes, I have new ideas. I like new ideas. Mercury and Taurus is more like, okay, we have the new ideas. Now we stabilize the new ideas. Now we figure out what it practically means. And for us Mercury, or not for us Geminis, we're like, yeah, that's cool. I know that's important, but I miss the days when it was all parade and fireworks and stuff. So enjoy the Mercury and Aries energy while it's lasting. The Taurus energy is so helpful for us Geminis because it finally allows us to stabilize ourselves and to, even if we don't have a lot of Taurus in our charts, ultimately we all have all the energy. It's good to keep that in mind. But not having a lot of Taurus in our charts especially, it's nice when we have transiting Taurus energies because we can finally kind of put that hat on and be like, oh, this is what it's like to be able to sit still and to think things through focusedly and not have to go in 10 different directions because my curiosity and my wanderlust is insatiable. Now, that's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with us being Geminis. But that Taurus energy is going to be really helpful, especially as our ruling planet Mercury goes into Taurus on May 13th, to just kind of chill a lot. And we have Venus in Taurus until April 24th, and that's allowing us to chill a lot too. But then Venus goes into Gemini, so it's going to be a lot more excitement. And speaking of conjunctions, Venus in Gemini will be conjunct our Sun at some point, whether we're a 0 degrees Gemini or 29 degrees Gemini Sun, doesn't matter. At some point, Venus will be conjunct it. How long is Venus in Gemini? Venus goes into Cancer May 19th. So we have almost a month. It's like 20 days, something like that. About 3 weeks that we're experiencing Venus in Gemini. So basically, to sum up, we're looking at the first couple weeks, the first 3 weeks, let's say the first, especially the first week of being very slow, taking our time. I mean, it's in a way it's not very slow because we still have Sun in Aries until Thursday. What is it? Thursday, April 19th, and then the Sun will go into Taurus. But after that, it's going to chill out a lot. And even then, Mercury is going to just be freshly direct. So it's going to be in the beginning of the shadow period. So it's good to just keep in mind that we're not going to be able to move forward as quickly as we want to for the first, especially the first week of this transit. The next week, things are going to speed up a lot with communication when Venus goes into Gemini, Tuesday, April 24th. And so being able to connect with others, to communicate, to let your ideas be known, to be able to convince people of your ideas, that's going to blossom beautifully. But it's going to be another week before things are... So basically, after the full moon on the 29th, that things really are cooking and moving forward. Now, it's still going to be at a steady pace because we are looking at a lot of Taurus energy, Sun in particular, during this transit, during this lunar cycle. And we also have Mars and Saturn and Capricorn still. So this is like a set the stage for future momentum to be seized upon and to grow exponentially very quickly, but this isn't quite the right time until May 4th until May 13th. Then it's like about 11 days of just moving straight forward. So stay patient. I know it's hard for us Geminis. But it's coming together very quickly, something that's really nice to keep in mind. And we'll cover this in future editions of New Moon News, especially this next one. But May 16th, we have two big transits going on. We have Mars going into Aquarius. Okay, and then the 15th, the last day of this lunar cycle, before the same day as the next new moon, Uranus goes into Taurus. That doesn't impact us too much, so we won't focus on that too much. But basically, that's a long cycle of 8 years. It's good to look back at the last 8 years and go, how have I grown? What have I learned? How have I become a better person? And what maybe could I now solidify, make more practical, make more stable over the next 8 years? That's something that's good to keep in mind because it's a big deal for all of us. But for us Geminis, unless we have a Taurus energy, and for that, honestly, I would recommend a personal chart reading, shameless self-promotion, to see exactly how that Uranus is maybe impacting your Mercury, if you got Mercury in Taurus or Venus in Taurus or perhaps Moon or whatever. That's more of a specific thing. But as Geminis as a whole, that's not, until it goes into Gemini, then it's a whole other story. But that's 8 years from now, so that's a future edition of New Moon News. But focused on this year. So, quick note: Venus in Gemini. We're gonna have so much beautiful, wordy, witty energies. We're gonna be able to communicate beautifully, more beautifully than basically at any other time of the year. I mean, there's other stuff too. I don't wish to say like it's okay. There will be great communication at other points of the year. But with Venus being in Gemini, and especially with Taurus, Sun in Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, so this energy is very prominent this time for all of us, but especially for us Geminis, we're going to be able to get our way. So make sure you're responsible with that, okay? Keep in mind that words are a lot more than just words. People hold on to them. They really care about what's being said. And sometimes they don't see things, usually actually, they don't see things, other people don't see things as light. As we do with ideas and words. No, I said that, but it's okay. I don't really mean it, and they won't really care. Don't assume that. Okay? So use your gift of beautiful persuasion at this time for what you need rather than what you want, and being able to craft really honest, true, deep, but I mean also fun and light in a sense, interactions. Well, maybe not deep so much as honest, deeply true, deeply honest. So the last little thing we're going to cover for this one, and again we'll cover this more in the next edition and from there. But basically, Mars will be in Aquarius, giving us a nice trine energy to our Sun from May 16th to basically November 15th. That's fucking amazing, because Mars spends about 6 weeks in each sign, so this is like 6 months. Now we are looking at about a month from August 12th to September 10th when Mars goes retrograde and it goes back into Capricorn, but for 5 months of this year, and starting with this next lunar cycle, and we'll go into that then of course, we're having this wonderful support from Mars. So that's something that's awesome to look forward to. So again, we'll get into that, but what I wanted to bring that up for was be patient. This lunar cycle is about moving forward. It's not quite as fast as we'd like, but the rest of this year is looking fantastic, especially with Jupiter going into Sagittarius November 8th. So I don't know, let's enjoy the scenery now while we're walking, and we'll be able to sprint soon enough and then fly soon enough. And that's where we really want to be. But it's nice to walk too and to kind of see, oh, hey, I never saw the stuff that was on the ground. It's nice to take your time from now and then. Infinite love to you, my friend. Namaste.